Ghost Rider, the origin of the fire-blazing, demonic motorcyclist, explored in detail. One of Marvel's most visually interesting characters, Ghost Rider, has undergone several shifts and changes in its story before the mantle for being the vessel of Zerithos went to Johnny Blaze, the one with the super suave motorcycle. And fire might be hot, but Johnny Blaze's flaming skull is simply the coolest. In fact, the surname Blaze is likely to be a wordplay on the blazing hellfire. Johnny Blaze sports a skeletal body and wields fire on his motorcycle as he fights his enemies in the series. During the day, he is a motorcycle stuntman. At night, he is the spirit of vengeance. But how did Johnny Blaze become the Ghost Rider? There's an interesting story behind this, and this video gets down to it all. His origin, his powers, and even his appearances in live action movies. Johnny Blaze has a lot going on all at once. Before diving into the content, we would like to make a very small request to our viewer. Please subscribe to Marvelous Videos, like and comment on our videos, and press the bell icon to be notified whenever we upload a video. We would be grateful to you, and we hope to bring you the best nerdy content. And with that, let's get right into this video.
Very nice.
How did the series start out? Ghost Rider is an American comic strip hero. In Marvel Spotlight number 5, writer Gary Friedrich created an incarnation of Ghost Rider for Marvel Comics, which was released in August 1972. During its run as a comic strip superhero, the Ghost Rider was a Western anti-hero. Writer Ray Crank had collaborated with artist Dick Ayers to bring this character to life. However, the reins shifted to Marvel Comics after the trademark on the character expired, causing Ayers to join forces with writers Gary Friedrich and Roy Thomas. This gave birth to Carter Slade, a teacher from the 19th century, known for wearing a ghost-like disguise while fighting lawbreakers. However, Carter Slade did not find much success in popular media, which called for some additional changes to be made. The character was reimagined. He was given a blue leather costume, a cool motorcycle to spice up his person, a blazing skull instead of a hot, and a hell lot of swag. And this super cool character design went on to become the trademark face of the Ghost Rider, called Johnny Blaze. Johnny Blaze is a motorcycle stuntman. His foster father was suffering from cancer. Desperate to find a cure, Johnny sold his soul to Mephisto, a demon, in return for a cure. That works out, but only temporarily. His father soon dies in a motorcycle accident. Mephisto bonds Blaze's soul with Zerithos, a lesser demon, to get revenge on Johnny Blaze for thwarting his plans of collecting Johnny's soul. In the Ghost Rider series, Blaze undergoes both internal and external battles. He fights the forces of evil, and he also fights Zerithos, who is bonded to his soul. With the supernatural power of Hellfire by his side, Blaze fights his enemies, but he also has to execute the biddings of Mephisto on several occasions.
How about a big round of applause for Barton and Johnny Blaze?
Ghost Rider Origin. Johnny Blaze was exposed to the wonders of being a motorcycle stuntman from a tender age, thanks to his father, Barton Blaze, who was a motorcycle stuntman. The father and son duo were accustomed to the life of a carnival, as Barton worked for another stuntman, Crash Simpson. Unfortunately, Barton died early as a result of a stunt-based accident, and Johnny did not have anyone else in his family. With his world taking a 180-degree turn for the worse, Crash Simpson went on to become a father figure for Johnny after adopting him. Johnny then began to live with Crash and Crash's wife and daughter, Mona and Roxanne. Johnny and Roxanne grew to become very close to one another. Johnny's misfortunes were far from over though. As he practiced the stunt with Roxanne, the motorcycle caught on fire and was on the verge of exploding. Roxanne jumped off, but Johnny did not, as he wanted to prevent the bike from exploding near their practice area. Roxanne's mother, Mona, rushed towards Johnny to check on him, but the motorcycle exploded then and there. Mona was hospitalized and later died as a result of the accident. She had one final wish, one where Johnny would never participate in motorcycle shows again. Johnny kept his promise, but could not let go of his love for motorcycle stunts. He kept on practicing and trying to improve in secret. Roxanne found out about this after stumbling into his tent. Meanwhile, his foster father, Crash Simpson, had a stunt show called the Crash Simpson Stunt Show. It gained a lot of popularity, but not long after, Crash Simpson was diagnosed with cancer and he was nearing his death. Having lost his biological father before, Johnny could not emotionally handle losing Crash as well, and went on to take an extreme route to save his life. He made a deal with the archdemon Mephisto, where he sold his soul to the devil in exchange for Crash getting cured of the cancer. Mephisto agreed, but laid down one condition. One day, he would return to extract his fee from Johnny. Crash got cured with no idea about what caused him to live. One day, he decided to perform an extreme motorcycle stunt where he would jump over 22 cars. However, that failed, and he crashed, pun intended, into the ground. As Crash died, despite Johnny having to pull such severe strings in the past to prevent this very thing from happening, Johnny found himself in a terrible spot once again. Mephisto reappeared and demanded for Johnny's soul as he had cured Crash's disease. In the end, Johnny went on to join him in Hades in light hours and be his emissary in the dark. As a result, he lived among the living in the morning, performing as a traveling stuntman with Roxanne, and at night he became the Ghost Rider. As Mephisto had bonded Johnny's soul with the demon Zerithos, Johnny developed an arsenal of superpowers as the Ghost Rider. Zerithos was tricked into being enslaved inside Johnny, but Mephisto and Johnny found himself stuck in a constant battle with a demonic entity within him as he tried not to succumb to it. However, Zerithos also became the root of Johnny's powers. Medallion of Power. It was coveted by Zerithos during a time when humans relied on the supernatural for protection. As Zerithos' vessel, Johnny Blaze has a piece of the medallion. As it is activated, the power of Zerithos, or the Ghost Rider, is unleashed inside Johnny. This is the source of Johnny's Ghost Rider appearance with the flaming skull. He boasts superhuman strength, durability, stamina, and speed. Penance Stare. The Penance Stare allows Johnny Blaze to inflict a level of emotional pain to others. It works depending on how much pain the person has inflicted upon their victims, resulting from their immoral activities. Johnny Blaze locks eyes with his opponents during combat. The opponent then experiences the pain they have inflicted upon others throughout their life. As broken as this may sound, the Penance Stare has some weaknesses. If the opponent is blind, has more than 2 eyes, or happens to be high on drugs such as cocaine, the Penance Stare does not work.
Your Penance Stare doesn't work on me. I have no soul to burn.
Also, when the Ghost Rider has used this feature on the symbiote Venom, Ghost Rider himself was knocked unconscious. Chains. When Johnny becomes the Ghost Rider at night, he uses a 3 feet heavy chain in combat. The chain has several magical properties. It can separate into individual links on being thrown, similar to the shurikens used by ninjas, and then it returns to the Ghost Rider's clasp after reintegrating into one single link. It can also grow in length, transform into other weapons, be used as a drill by spinning it fast, and possesses supernatural strength. Motorcycle. The Ghost Rider rides a bike which is statistically a lot faster than a regular motorcycle. It can perform impossible feats such as running across water or riding up vertical surfaces. Its appearance changes after being empowered. Normally, it looks like a regular motorcycle, but it transforms into a high-tech and powerful vehicle. It acquires flaming wheels, has a shield-like battering ram protecting the front. It can also drive through air, which has been seen in 2 instances. Later, Johnny Blaze created 2 other bikes that have functioned in a similar manner. One of them was created when his original bike was stolen by Lockhart in a crossover comic, where the Ghost Rider encountered the Punisher and Wolverine. The other bike was created in the regular series as a safety measure, as Johnny Blaze wanted to have another high-tech spare vehicle if something were to happen to his original. The vehicle could also be wrapped around in fire, like the Ghost Rider's skull. Hellfire. Johnny Blaze had spent 2 years in hell. This experience helped him acquire a few tricks up his sleeve. He could spit fire and vomit his chain. With this new hobby for pyrotechnics, Johnny could control both normal fire as well as hellfire, manipulate it the way he liked, and basically become a full-fledged firebender. He could also destroy the undead. King of Hell. Johnny sported another powerful feat with his stare, called the Damnation Stare, which he used as the King of Hell. Similar to the Penance Stare, it was activated, unlocking eyes with an opponent. Johnny could look into the soul of a human who has been possessed and determine whether the soul of the entity that possessed the human has been sent to hell already or not. If the entity has been judged and sent to hell, the demon will be sent back, and the body it had possessed will burn. However, it had a major drawback. This ability made Johnny a conduit for the demonic entity, causing their wickedness to stick to him, making him more violent and angry. Johnny could also strip the power away from the spirits of vengeance as the King of Hell. Hellfire Shotgun. Johnny Blaze wielded the Hellfire Shotgun at one point. This device allowed him to access his powers pertaining to Hellfire without having to transform into the Ghost Rider. The gun came into being following a battle between Blaze and the Ghost Rider Ketch, who was also his long-lost brother. Unlike regular weapons, the Hellfire Shotgun never ran out of ammunition or juice. It could be fired constantly, without any breaks, and without worrying about it running out. Other versions of Johnny Blaze as the Ghost Rider. Johnny Blaze has appeared and reappeared as the Ghost Rider time and again, but often within premises that are not the same as the canon in his own series. Some of them are. Heroes Reborn. The 2021 miniseries Heroes Reborn dived into an alternate reality where Johnny Blaze becomes Ghost Runner, who is a speedster. He races Blur twice. One of those races took place on the Penance Stairs. Marvel Mangaverse. Johnny Blaze appears in the Marvel Mangaverse as the brother of Diamond Hellstrom, who is the son of Satan and a mortal woman. They have an evil sister by the name Satana Hellstrom. In this verse, Johnny and Damon join forces to take down Satana. Ultimate Marvel. Johnny Blaze first appears in the Ultimate Comics, Avengers, Volume 2, when he makes his entry into the Ultimate Marvel Universe. We see a young Johnny Blaze going on a cross-country trip with his girlfriend, Roxanne Simpson. They befriend a biker gang, but Johnny is killed by them as part of a sacrificial ritual for Satan. In exchange, the biker gang is supposed to acquire power and money. Johnny makes a deal with Satan himself, where he gives his soul in exchange for Roxanne's safety. He then trains for 20 years to become the Ghost Rider and is then sent back into the world of the living to get revenge on the biker gang. The members of the gang were now rich and powerful due to the ritual they had performed. Johnny Blaze goes on a killing spree, urging the White House to issue an order that demands the death of the Ghost Rider. The Avengers get caught in the crossfire, but failed to defeat the Ghost Rider. They learn the truth about the situation, with reference to the biker gang and their leader, Bobby Blackthorne, who is now the vice president. Blackthorne is dragged into a church by Johnny, where the Punisher waits to kill him before meeting Satan. They also observe a Roxanne, now revived and with no memory of the things that have been done for her. In the end, Satan allows Roxanne to live in exchange for Johnny working for him as the Ghost Rider.
Nice jacket.
Live action adaptation. A lot of people who are in their late teens or the early 20s were introduced to the Ghost Rider on the television screen. Ghost Rider has had 2 live-action adaptations so far, 2007's Ghost Rider and 2011's Ghost Rider Spirit of Vengeance. Ghost Rider, 2007. This film was written and directed by Mark Steven Johnson, who has previously worked on 2003's Daredevil. Nicolas Cage appears as Johnny Blaze, Eva Mendes as Roxanne Simpson, Wes Bentley as Blackheart, and Peter Fonda as Mephistopheles, or the Devil. San Venganza had a contract which Mephistopheles wanted to retrieve, to control 1,000 corrupt souls. Mephistopheles had sent the Ghost Rider to retrieve it, but Rider refused to do so, as he realized that the contract would allow the demon to unleash hell on Earth. He then escapes with it. Cut to 1986. The demon reaches out to Johnny Blaze, a 17-year-old boy who offers him his soul in exchange for his father being cured of cancer. Similar to the original story, Crash Simpson later dies at a motorcycle stunt accident, and Johnny Blaze blames Mephisto for causing it, while Mephisto considers the deal fulfilled as he had cured Crash Simpson's cancer. Mephisto had a son, Blackheart, who came to Earth to find the contract of San Venganza. She seeks the Hidden, who were 3 fallen angels, bonded by air, water, and earth, for aid. Johnny becomes a famous stuntman in 2007 and asks Roxanne Simpson out on a dinner date. Johnny also becomes the new Ghost Rider, and Mephistopheles offers to return Johnny's soul if he succeeds at defeating Blackheart. Johnny kills Gressel, the Earth Angel. He uses his penance stare on a street thug, making him feel the pain he has inflicted upon others. He learns from the caretaker that he will transform into the Ghost Rider every night. Meanwhile, Roxanne is a television reporter who reports the events of last night on the news. Johnny tries to control his new firepower and reveals himself as the Devil's Bounty Hunter to Roxanne. He faces imprisonment for a brief period, that too for murders committed by Blackheart, and then kills Abigor, the Air Angel. He escapes from the police and seeks out the caretaker, who tells Johnny about Carter Slade, his predecessor, and about Slade hiding the contract of San Venganza from Mephisto. Johnny learns about Blackheart killing his friend Max and taking Roxanne hostage in exchange for the contract. Johnny uses his penance stare to defeat Blackheart, but it results in nothing because Blackheart has no soul. Blackheart then orders Johnny to bring him the contract after Johnny fails to defeat him. Johnny goes back to the caretaker and learns that the contract is hidden in a spade. After the caretaker gives Johnny the contract, he transforms and is revealed to be Carter Slade.
Carter Slade.
He takes Johnny to San Venganza, gives him a shotgun, and fades into dust after shaking off the curse. Johnny kills the Water Angel Wallow and gives Blackheart the contract. He then transforms into the Ghost Rider to fight him, but as the sun rises, he is rendered powerless. Blackheart absorbs 1,000 souls using the contract, but fails to kill Johnny due to Roxanne's interference. Johnny uses the shotgun to shoot Blackheart. He transforms into the Ghost Rider again, after retreating to the shadows. Now that Blackheart has 1,000 souls, Johnny uses the penance stare on him. Blackheart is rendered catatonic, and all the corrupt souls within him burn. Mephisto appears and offers to take back the Ghost Rider's curse as the contract is now complete. However, Johnny declines to prevent others from making the deal with the devil. He then dedicates himself to protect the innocent and fight the demon. Mephisto swears vengeance on Johnny and disappears. Johnny reconciles with Roxanne and embraces his new life as the Ghost Rider. Ghost Rider, Spirit of Vengeance. This movie was directed by Brian Taylor and Mark Neveldine. Nicolas Cage reprises his role as the Ghost Rider once again. The movie features a young gypsy named Nadia, wanting to let go of the gypsy lifestyle. To do so, she hooks up with a drug and gun runner named Ray Kerrigan. But Nadia has to jump from a 3-story window and die as the result of an unsuccessful gun deal. While on the verge of death, the devil appears in front of her as Rourke and agrees to restore her body in exchange for her giving him a son. Their son, Danny, is born. After 13 years, the devil needs a new body as Rourke, as a vessel, could not contain his power. Due to Danny's physical superiority as a half-human, he becomes the candidate for being the devil's vessel. But this ritual can only be performed at sunrise on his 13th birthday. The devil hires Kerrigan to kidnap Danny, but the Frenchman Moreau leads a group of monks to rescue Danny. As the alcoholic Frenchman Moreau tries to rescue Danny, Nadia shoots him out of distrust. Moreau goes to Johnny Blaze and asks for his help in protecting Danny. Johnny was in Eastern Europe, in hiding after making a deal with Rourke, as he needed to deal with the evil spirits within him. They get into another deal as Moreau promises to remove the demons from Johnny's body in exchange for the child getting protection from the Ghost Rider. Kerrigan captures the boy, and the Rider rescues him. Kerrigan dies in battle, and Rourke resurrects him as Blackout, who is a demon who decays everything with a touch. Danny is taken to the Methoti by Johnny. Nadia, Moreau, and the monks remove the demons from within Johnny. He learns about Zerithos, who was once an angel in the spirit of justice, who was sent to protect a man, but he was corrupted in hell, and he turned into the spirit of vengeance.
He became the spirit of vengeance.
The monks decide to kill Danny as he was born with the devil's power, making him dangerous. Kerrigan, who is now Blackout, shows up, kills the monks, and kidnaps Danny. He delivers Danny to the devil, and the ritual to shift vessel begins. Meanwhile, Johnny, Nadia, and Moreau try to stop this from happening. As Johnny is about to be killed, Danny, who has all of Rourke's powers, puts the power of Zerithos back into Johnny, allowing him to turn into the Ghost Rider once again. Johnny kills Blackout and chases Rourke down the road. He crashes into Rourke's car and sends him back to hell. But Danny dies in the crash. However, Zerithos still had his angelic powers and used them to restore the boy's life. In the end, Johnny rides into the night as the Ghost Rider, but this time as the spirit of justice and not as the spirit of vengeance. Is there going to be another Ghost Rider movie? Marvel Studios is reportedly developing a third Ghost Rider project, 2007's Ghost Rider and 2011's Ghost Rider Spirit of Vengeance was done under Sony, so the character could not be introduced into the Marvel Cinematic Universe. But with the rights moving back to Marvel, Ghost Rider was reintroduced in the third season of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., with Gabrielle Luna playing the character. Kevin Feige wishes for the Ghost Rider to return to the silver screen. However, despite Gabrielle Luna's brilliant performance, he will not be reprising his role as the Ghost Rider, and it is unlikely for Nicolas Cage to do the same. Feige might reboot the character as a whole and restart with its origin for the Marvel Cinematic Universe.
I will be the last one to die.
If matching up with the comics is taken into consideration, the Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness could create an opening for the Ghost Rider to reintroduce himself. In the comics, Stephen Strange and Ghost Rider have teamed up against Nightmare together, who is set to be the main antagonist in the Doctor Strange sequel. And if you liked our content, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe to us if you haven't already. Have a good one and be safe. Thanks everyone.